Olivia met Liam through an online dating site. It was an especially trying time in her life. She broke up with her boyfriend of 4 years only a couple of months ago. Her friend Sarah urged her to get back on the bandwagon because Olivia was feeling so miserable. After wallowing in her misery for a couple of months, her friend had had enough. She came over to Olivia's apartment and set up a dating profile, and then demanded that she start searching for a new guy. Olivia wasn't feeling it, but she picked a guy named Liam and messaged him. By the next day, he responded, and she was surprised at how much they had in common. Their interactions went from the dating app to the phone, and from there, they spoke for hours. He was perfect, kind, and sweet. When Olivia was out somewhere, Liam would check in on her and find out if she got home okay. One day she needed to buy her niece a birthday gift and decided to invite Liam to the mall with her. And since Sarah and her boyfriend were there, Liam ended up meeting them too. They had a blast, and her friends thought he was great. Olivia offered to drive Liam home afterward. As they were heading back from the mall, he looked at her and said, I really like you." Olivia was taken aback since this was the first time she had met him in person. "I like you too," she said cautiously, but she kept her eyes on the road. "No, I mean I really like you," he said. "I want us to date exclusively." "This is going way too fast. I just got out of a relationship." "Don't worry about it," he said, laughing away the awkwardness in the air. "I don't want you to feel pressured." Olivia nodded. They changed the topic to talk about their musical interests. Time sped by. The next thing she knew, she was driving into his driveway. After she dropped Liam off, he was still on her mind. He really was nice, smart, and pretty cute too, and she really liked him. What was stopping her from having a relationship with him? Maybe Sarah was right. Maybe this is what she needed. The next day, Olivia called him up and said, "Okay, let's do it. Let's make it official and date exclusively." "Are you serious?" he asked. "Yesterday you said that things were moving too fast." "Maybe I changed my mind," she said, unable to stop herself from grinning. Liam laughed and told her how happy he was that they were now an item. Hanging out with him was lots of fun. Olivia's mom liked him, and when he met the rest of her friends, they liked him too. But then, after 2 months, he started to change. He became antagonistic and would pick fights with her over the smallest things. Olivia was the type of person who wore emotions on her sleeve, and she often told him off. However, after a fight, they usually talked things out and then made up. 2 weeks went by, and Olivia called Liam up, asking him to hang out with her over the weekend. He made an excuse, and she called him out on it. Liam became angry, and not surprisingly, they fought yet again. But this fight was different. When Olivia tried to explain her feelings, he interrupted her. "Look, I'm tired from work. I've got to go." His words left her feeling empty and cold. Olivia expected to hear from him the next day, but there was nothing. After the second day, she called to apologize for her part, but she only got his voice message. He texted her a day later, although his response was short and impersonal. For the next few days, Olivia's emotions were all over the place. Feelings of inadequacy and unworthiness played on her mind, and at night she cried herself to sleep, wondering why Liam no longer liked her. All this time, Sarah was trying to reach her. Olivia finally called her friend back and told her about her troubles. "Maybe you need to find a new guy," Sarah said. Olivia put her head on her pillow and stared at the ceiling. "Maybe," she said, but she wasn't convinced that a new man would make her feel better. After Olivia's call with her friend, she checked her phone again in case she missed something from Liam. But no, there was still nothing from him. She sat abruptly on her bed. This was getting ridiculous. She couldn't sit by the phone all day waiting for him to call her back. She gathered her yoga gear and headed to the gym. She also renewed her focus on her studies. When she needed even more distraction, Olivia decided to invite Sarah on a hike, but her friend couldn't go. Fine, she said, I'll go by myself. Olivia was feeling low, but as soon as she turned into the wooded parking lot of the national park, that feeling lifted and she began to feel a shift. She decided to leave her phone behind and begin her hike. As she walked the trail, she noticed the peace and serenity that surrounded her. She hadn't felt this calm for a very long time. When Olivia returned to her car a couple of hours later, she pulled her phone out of the glove compartment and glanced at it. She grunted when she saw a message waiting for her. After a full week, her boyfriend had finally called her. She dialed in and listened to all his lame excuses for not calling her back. She then erased the message. For the past couple of months, her life was on a roller coaster, and the driver of that roller coaster was her boyfriend. With Liam, she had encountered one drama after another. She should have listened to her gut instincts. What she needed was time to heal, and getting into a new relationship was way too fast and way too soon. Taking a deep breath, Olivia punched in Liam's number. Our relationship is over, she said when he answered his phone. Suddenly, all the stress and weight she carried on her shoulders melted away. Now that she ended the relationship, she felt at peace for the first time. She would no longer participate in drama or date someone who played mind games and messed with her emotions. These were the first acts of loving and respecting herself, because deep down she knew that she deserved better. What did you guys think of the story? Please comment in the comment section below. I can't wait to read your answers and discussions. Thanks for watching! And don't forget to like and subscribe to get the latest stories to warm your heart. Until next time, bye!